Welcome to the Peak Impact Mentorship. Today I'm going to talk about perspective which a leader needs to transition change in his or her organization. So I'll take you through 10 points to get a perspective so that you can lead the change in your organization. Let me give you the first one. Ask these 5 Peter Drucker questions. The first question is, what is our mission? Think upon it. Second question, who is our customer? Third question, what does our customer value? Fourth question, what is our plan? Fifth question, what are our results? Let's say you are trying to you're trying to launch a new product. Okay, so let's go step by step. First question, what is the mission? Why this product is needed? Are you clear about it? If you are clear, is your team clear about it? In Stephen Covey's 8th habit, Stephen Covey once took a group of CEOs, almost I think 100 CEOs from Fortune 500 companies were there, and he was training them. And the first question he asked to all of them was, is your team clear about your organization's mission? So some of them say, yeah, they should. Some said, I hope so. So Stephen says, very clearly he said, why don't you guys do one thing? Tomorrow when you go, ask them and let me know the next day. It was a 2 days workshop. So second day when they come up, and all of them tried to ask their team, and they were shocked that 80% people were not clear about the mission. So they came back and Stephen Covey asked them, what was their response? It said, we could not believe that our team is not clear about the mission. Stephen said, don't worry about it. It's a global crisis. John Maxwell says this, assumption is the mother of all confusion. That's what happens. So if you're a leader, don't assume that all your team members are aware of a mission. If your team is not clear about the mission, do you think they'll put the commitment? Do you think they'll put their heart for this project? Never. So that's the first thing you should know. Second question. Now you're trying to launch this product. Who is your customer? Do you know this? Who is your customer? Why I'm asking this question so categorically? Reason is very simple. There's a famous book by Chip and Dan Heath, Switch. In that, he talks about an amazing concept, that knowledge gap. The pain of knowledge, he says. And what he says is, the technical guy who understands a subject, what he assumes and what the end customer understands about the same subject is totally different. Take an example. The remote, TV remote which we have, how many switches is regularly used on a daily basis? I think only 4 switches: volume, channel, power. Now imagine there is more than 30 buttons. No need to say that it is made by a technical guy who do not know that what the end consumer want. He assumes that all the people who are going to use the television are technical expert. And he talks about this concept very categorically. So that same thing, it happens in your team. So once your team knows the mission and your team knows who are the customer, then they can do the work in a more clear-cut manner. Third most important point, if you want to make sure that your team performs properly for this project, do your team knows what is the need of the customer? That's very, very important. The fourth question is, what is your plan? Again, we are assuming that a lot of people know the same thing which we are doing. Many times it is an assumption. That means the team should exactly know the roadmap, what exactly is the plan of execution. If you do not give them precisely clear, they cannot execute it. In my experience of working with different categories of people, starting from CEOs to students, what I have found was 90% people are followers. Until you give them a clear-cut roadmap, they cannot execute it. And then the last most important point to relate with you. How will you define success? So what results are you expecting? This has to be categorically mentioned in advance so that the team is not confused. So apply this. This is how you create perspective for your team. This is how you create perspective for others. If you liked it, do drop your comments about your experience about the same subject. And if you've never been part of any of the PIM workshop, I invite you for our weekend workshop where I cover one such topic every week around different aspects of growth which can help you in your professional career, in your personal life. Thank you so much.